What's up, Edmonton? It's Ryan here with Hauer Power Electrical, and we got a good video today here. I got my friend Ryan here with Rhino Plumbing. So you got Ryan and Ryan. We're going to talk to you today about what to expect when you hire contractors for yourself. So this isn't what to expect when you hire a general contractor or an electrical contractor. This is what to expect, period, when you're managing your own project and you want to take on that role yourself. And this is from our opinion. So we're not general contractors. I do electrical. He does plumbing and HVAC, and that's what we're going to touch on today. So we'll dive right in. Typical work scopes for what we do. So myself, what we're going to do at Hauer Power Electrical, our team's going to come in, and first we're going to do the rough and electrical. We're going to put in boxes, put in cables, put in doorbell chime if you got a basement, legal suite. We're going to put in a thermostat cabling. We're going to put in the smoke detectors. We're going to put in all your plugs, lights, and switches there. That's our job. That's our work scope. And we're not going to install your furnace. We're not going to install your plumbing. We're not going to program your smart home system for your project. That's our role. So what about yourself? What would your role be here in a basement scenario?
When it comes to a basement scenario, you have to decide right away if it's a legal basement suite. You want to get permits for this, and you don't want to have problems with your renters later on. So a lot of times a legal basement suite will need separate HVAC or separate hot water, depending, right? And you want to know that, so you definitely want to approach the city and see what their permitting is. It depends upon the house, year, the style of house, the entrances, everything like that. So and it can be really costly. I mean, if you have to take apart all of your HVAC, add a new furnace, and then have another hot water tank as well, you're looking at some big money. I mean, a furnace these days with all the price increases is not a cheap endeavor. So you may want to wait for this, or at least just have a plan.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a big undertaking, whatever you might do, and it's going to grow too. That's something a lot of people don't really anticipate when they start their own project. They don't know that it's going to grow from maybe you're just doing a bathroom shower, and then it's going to grow to the bathroom tile, and then the vanity, and then you're going to want to grow it too. So that's a good point about the furnaces there. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand. If you're doing a legal suite, you're probably going to need 2 furnaces for each suite, and that's a big cost.
Absolutely, depending on the year. I mean, some houses, if it's an older property, they do let you get away with it. It just depends on the system.
That's good. Another thing to touch on here too about your actual scope, which trades you want to get in first. So you're always going to start off your project with your on-site visits. So you're going to call your electrical contractor, obviously Hauer Power Electrical, and you're going to call your plumbing. You're going to call Rhino Plumbing here, and you're going to get their input of what has to happen and what to expect and how much it's going to cost, and overall what it's going to look like, kind of thing, in the big picture. So aside from money, the whole thing you really want to focus on is quality, I think. It's going to be cheaper if we can put those wires in the walls the right way, rather than when you call us to come back on a finishing stage, which we're still thrilled to work with you. If you get someone else to do the rough in, you weren't happy with them, we'd come in and finish it. But it's going to be more expensive in the end to fix work that wasn't done right the first time. So
even worse if you haven't talked about these permits and figured out exactly what the rules are for this stuff. Nothing worse than having your basement drywalled and finished already and calling us and saying, hey, well, we need our plumbing done, and we come in and look and tell you that this is not going to be a legal basement suite. You need a whole bunch of different things, and I'm sorry you put up the drywall. And that happens more often than you would think. I get calls like that at least once a month.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah. No, that's huge. You always want to get those on-site visits, get the trades of the professionals of what they do every day to look at what you need to be done so that it can be done right. So first you're going to have those on-site visits, then you're going to have your concrete guy, if you have to cut up concrete in case you need to relocate a bathroom, some plumbing. Usually for electrical, we don't have to put too much into the concrete there unless you're having an island in a basement and it's all concrete and we've got to get an island plug there. Then we might have to open up some concrete, but other than concrete, you're going to look at your framing, right? Once your concrete's in place, put up all your framing.
I'll just stop you there on the concrete. Like, we do concrete as well. We're not afraid to break concrete in the basement. I mean, we're not doing outdoor sidewalks and driveways, but we will break out a basement and move plumbing stacks or move around any underground plumbing, rough in, whatever it takes. Bathtubs. Most of these bathtubs that you put in, you know, when they build your house, they kind of rough it in a rough spot. You're obviously going to want to change it, make it to your standards and where you're putting it. We have no problem breaking a little bit of concrete.
That's awesome. Yeah, see what your guys can do. See, plumbing and HVAC, yeah, typically they wouldn't break concrete, but he has a special set of background skills and the tools that he can do that for you. So a lot of plumbers might be able to do that too, but make sure your trades are comfortable with what you're asking of them, right? If you're asking us to do a furnace job, no, we can't do that. Go for honesty first, right? At the end of the day, they're going to tell you what they can do and what they can't do, and you need to establish that in some sort of written contract, right? Or time and materials billing. Something has to be there in place so that everything is set and people know what's expected of them, right? You're not going to send someone out to do plumbing when they just do electrical. But yeah, you'll get your framing done, and then you get your HVAC, your furnace after that, and then your plumbing, and then your electrical, and then your vapor barrier after your insulation, and your drywall, then your paint, then your backsplash, and then we come in and put on all our finishing devices, all our plugs and switches and pot lights for us, and for the fine plumbing folks, all the
trim.
sinks.
You got your your trim for your bathtub and whatnot. One thing I would bring up again is bathtub trim, like say it's shower doors or shower walls or whatever. This isn't something that a plumber does all the time. It's more, there is a shower door guy. There's several companies that do this. They warranty their work. They're super efficient at it. They can, in a time that it would take me 8 hours to finagle together your shower doors and get everything done, these guys can do it in an hour. They guarantee their work. They have repair kits if something goes wrong. They can do acrylic repairs on your bathtub, whatever you need. So definitely know that you need those guys, and we have all our trim to do as well under the sink and our P-traps and everything, and our faucets, and spruce it up without making a mess.
Yeah. Once you get all your finishing in, then you can kind of call your project complete. There's always going to be deficiencies though, and that's another reason why we want to do this video is we want you guys to know what to expect, because a lot of people think that if you have everything documented and written down and you're organized, that nothing will go wrong. But you know what? This is going to offend a lot of people, but we're all human. And we got guys that are 62 years old, they make mistakes. We got guys that are in the trade for 40 years, they make mistakes. If you're human, you will have human error, and that goes for parts too. I mean, everything's made by a human, so things are going to go wrong. That's the next one we want to talk about, I think.
That's why we stand behind our product. I'm willing to warranty my stuff. I'm willing to accept my mistakes, repair what I've done wrong, or fix what we can, what's happened, right? We work together. And if there is a surprise, bring it to the attention. We bring it to your attention and tell you, look, we're starting to break concrete for your plumbing, and we found a big footing here. We can't really break that. We may have to reroute it. This could cost more money. There can be surprises, but most of the time it's pretty straightforward. I wouldn't expect that there's a surprise on every single job.
That's true. Yeah. The bigger the job, the more surprises you're gonna have. The smaller the job, less surprises. But as far as those holdups, you will have holdups too that are out of your control. Look at COVID-19, right? I don't know how many clients have you had that have canceled because of COVID-19 and it really messed up your schedule?
Lots of clients. The suppliers are difficult to deal with. Sometimes there's a big backup or lineup. There's no supplies. There's a ton of obstacles in our way because of this COVID-19. I guess at the end of the day, with that, all we can do is make sure that we test ourselves and our guys, and make sure that anybody with symptoms or anything is off the team for the time being, and follow the government regulations. Nothing worse than spreading the COVID to a client that's unexpected. So
disastrous.
Right. So we definitely test all the time. The nose thing is real fun, but we do it. And anytime there's any type of symptoms, the people are off for that amount of time.
That's right. That's one hold up. At the end of the day, you can't control it. It's out of the control. It's going to mess up scheduling. It's going to pose a risk. as long as you can be understanding and your contractor is honest and understanding, then it should be, at the end of the day, everyone's alive. You know, you're on this side of the dirt, that's a good day.
Just another good day.
Just keep moving on from there, right? The project will get done. But that's one big hold up. As far as suppliers, yeah, like we got great relationships with our suppliers, but at the end of the day, material holdups is incredible. We had one job with a 3-inch PVC LBs, and 6 months it was back ordered, so we had to go with a different product, which held up our job because then we had to do different materials on that. So it was, yeah, that's a whole nother video. We won't get so much into that. So I guess with all that said, then too, the next part. Why should you hire a general contractor? General contractor, they're the ones that are going to take over your job and your roles and responsibilities for the project. You might still be in charge of picking up finishing fixtures and you know what color plugs you might want, sort of small stuff that way. As far as hiring a general contractor though, pick an honest one, go with your gut feeling, and let them take control. Just give them that project. You know, at the end of the day, that's their job, is to manage a project. They're going to manage the electricians, they're going to manage the plumbers, the HVAC, they're going to manage every little part that goes into your project. And if you let them take control and just answer the questions of what kind of stove you want, stuff like that, then they can make the whole project and stress disappear. Otherwise, if you want to take on the stress, you can do it yourself. But
they can, they can make the process amazing and they can make the stress disappear. But they can also cause problems if you don't, you know, research your contractor. Make sure you got the right people.
Big time.
Check the reviews, check the references. I would suggest having at least 2 references for a contractor.
That's a good point.
And you know, specifically jobs that they've done. You don't want those kind of headaches. We've all had people's lives interrupted or, you know, big problems because of these sort of fly-by-night contractors. It's very easy to just fire up a contracting company and go. So a contractor can be a savior or a massive headache.
That's a good point. We get I mean, our whole mission is to power customer service, and these videos are how we can bring that customer service back to the trades. But at the end of the day, contractors get a pretty bad name because there is so many fly-by-nights that, and a lot of them, the businesses just fail too, just for poor management or too cheap at prices that didn't make it happen. So you call them the next day and the number's not there. A lot of them just kind of fail. But at the end of the day, like, that's just how that one goes, right? You want to go with the highest rated contractor is probably going to be your best bet. Meet with them, see if you like them, because if you hate them, then it doesn't matter if they do great work.
Chemistry is important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a relationship, right? And you got to have that give and take. You got to be able to have those conversations, and when something happens, maybe a guy drills through a plumbing stack. I don't know. If something goes wrong, you want to have that relationship so that they can be honest with you and say, hey, I gotta tell you, 2x4 between the eyes, you know, up front, we drilled through your plumbing stack, and it's going to cost this to replace it. While we did mess that up, you know, whatever you guys work out that way, whatever you guys negotiate that way, those conversations have to happen. If you don't like the person, those conversations just won't happen, and your job's going to go real south real quick.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's massive. Another point too that we should talk about is this is going to offend some people, and it's going to make some people mad. I'm sorry. Why you shouldn't watch your trades work. Okay, some people, they say, oh, I want to learn how to do it, I want to watch it so I can expand my knowledge. That's great, you're very ambitious, that's phenomenal, but it's a distraction. With all due respect, you are a distraction, and if we're working one way and we've done it for how many years, you know, I've done it for 14 years, but if someone's watching over my shoulder, it's going to make me nervous, right? The same way as if I'm going to the bathroom, someone's watching over my shoulder. Yeah, I've gone to the bathroom tons of times, but it's going to make someone nervous when you're watching them work. Not to mention the safety aspect of it too. If a drill bit breaks into a couple pieces, which happens, and flies over and hits you in the face, well, now who's at fault? Like, RWCB won't cover you. Now you got to go to the hospital. You know, that's just a small scenario, right? Do you like being watched work?
I mean, I'm not a big fan of it. It makes things a little bit more difficult. I don't think that even if you did want to learn the job, I don't think that watching us do it once or twice is gonna help. You may have somewhat of an idea, but it's taken me years to perfect my craft. I mean, mistakes and learning techniques and hands-on is one of the only ways you're actually going to get good at this anyways. I mean, yeah, it's better to be left alone. Definitely don't hesitate to stop us and ask questions, or at the end of the day or the beginning of the day that we should be having a conversation or a meeting, and we will definitely bring anything that needs to be brought to your attention to your attention. We don't want to lack on communication in any way, but having another person in watching can create difficulties for sure.
Massive. We've had a couple jobs where client wants to learn, and again, that's great, but the job ends up taking 2, even 3 times as long because we're focused on something and we get pulled away to answer that question. Now we forgot what we were doing. It leads to mistakes, right? If you want a quality job, you hired us because you trust us to know our trade, our craft, and that's why you hired us, right? If you wanted to do it yourself, then I've been doing it for 14 years. This is going to make some people mad, but if you want to learn electrical, go be an electrician, right? If you want to have your motor swapped in your car, you could probably do that too. It's going to take a heck of a lot longer though. That's why you hire a mechanic or something like that. So at the end of the day, if you're hiring a trade to do their trade, let them do their work, right? As long as they're respectful in your home and they're not making a disaster of a mess, and if there's a red flag, there's a red flag. But if they're doing their job, maybe just leave them to do their job, right?
Well, and a lot of times a quick phone call. I mean, if you are doing things on your own and you do want to do something, don't hesitate to give a quick call. I mean, we can talk to you for a few minutes and assess the situation and warn you of problems that can come up. I see guys doing little things, even like rebuild under your sink, just a P-trap and stuff, right? Like for us, it's a couple $100 to come do that. It's not expensive. It could cost you a whole day and a couple $100 in parts by the time you make the mistake. So some little simple things, it's very nice to have a plumber come in, and at least the work's guaranteed, right? But it gets done, it's guaranteed, it's neat, organized, and it's done, So I mean, make the call. Just give us a call. We're definitely willing to chat with you for a few minutes and see what the problem is and see if it's worth. Maybe it is. If it's worth doing it yourself, we are very busy people anyway, so we can set you on the right track. Maybe set you up with a good general contractor. I mean,
we refer to our guys out all the time.
So
at the end of the day, give us a call, right? If you want advice on how your project should be done, call the professionals, right? This is what we do every day. This is why our businesses exist, is to serve you in this area, right? So at the end of the day, if you want to do the job yourself, sure, go for it. Electrical and plumbing, it's not rocket science. Millions of people do it every day, but it's only easy until it's really not, and then things can go bad and expensive and sell really quick, right? So it's probably cheaper in the big picture. If money is the big issue, it's probably cheaper to just hire someone to do it right the first time rather than again and again and again.